It is, what will the seventh generation from me have? That's roughly 150 years from now. It's not just sentimentality. It is spiritual technology for living unselfishly. It is what every great master, every great teacher has taught. It has been built into our bones long before the word sustainability ever existed. Thank you, Diana and Soulshine Band. Yes. Some powerful music today, and I know there's more to come. Before there was a Bible, before there was a Torah, a Quran, a Bhagavad Gita, or a Unity textbook, before there were words for God at all, there was a feeling, a power, an impulse, a pull toward wonder, toward gratitude, toward gathering with other people, towards blessing what we didn't build ourselves. This morning is International Indigenous Peoples Day. And we're going to be going back, way back, to find out what was written into us, into our very DNA, before anything was ever written down. And I want to begin with a centering thought, an affirmation that we'll say together. I'll say a piece of it, and then you can repeat it. I was given instructions before I could read. I remember them now. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to remember those original instructions that have been carried down in the hearts and the souls of the indigenous peoples of the world. We're going to begin with Genesis, chapter 1, verse 27. So God created humankind in its own image. In the image of God, they were created, male and female. Every tradition on earth, in its own language, in its own way, tells some version of this story. We did not invent ourselves. We were given something at the very beginning of creation, a shape, a spark, an instruction, and the spiritual life is largely about remembering that. It's older than religion. And here's something that might surprise you. The human impulse to gather in reverence, we now know, is older than farming, older than cities, older than the wheel. Sometime maybe around 9600 BCE, nearly 11,000 years before the Nagasaki bombing, which we're honoring or remembering tomorrow. I don't know that we honor that, but we remember it. And the people who were lost in those bombings. 11,000 years ago, a community of hunters-gatherers gathered in what is now southeastern Turkey at a site called Göbekli Tepe, where there are massive carved stone pillars like those up there, arranged in circles, centuries before anyone in that region had ever planted a permanent crop. Archaeologists for generations had assumed that farming came first and religion followed. That it was only after people were able to settle down in one place and had surplus food that they had the leisure to invent gods. But at Göbekli Tepe turned that idea, that theory, on its head. For the people who built it had no metal tools, no pottery that we know of, no writing that we know of, and yet they still organized themselves to build a gathering place, that was sacred. The impulse to gather together and create something sacred and holy came long before civilization, not after it. There was a socio-cultural change that pulled humanity toward each other, toward meaning. That came long before we were able to settle down and live in one place. Going back even further, archaeologists have found paintings done in red ochre pigment, a mineral with zero nutritional value or even practical use. But it was deliberately used in sacred rituals and paintings that go back as far as 300,000 years. We know of the great painted caves at Le Caux and Cheval in France, where there are horses and bison painted on the walls that are 15,000 to 40,000 years old. None of that was necessary for survival, but it was necessary for something else. Something in us, even that long ago, needed to mark, to bless, and to say, this matters. Before there was any word for sacred, there was that feeling, that reverence that is older than religion. It has been said that the energy of wonder was installed in us in the original creation. So this is International Indigenous Peoples Day. A good day to sit with a phrase that comes from indigenous teachings across North America. And that phrase is original instructions. Now, original instructions does not mean a rule book. It means something closer to the memory that is contained within the earth itself from the beginning of time. And that instruction is how to be in right relationships, how to have gratitude for what sustains us, how to have kinship with what shares the world with us. It is reverence for the community of life and the responsibility that stretches past our lifetime. Chief Oren Lyons, a faith keeper with the Onondaga Nation, has spent decades reminding audiences from the United Nations to the college campuses of the world one piece of that instruction. And that one piece is a question. What about the seventh generation? Where are you taking the seventh generation? What will they have? It's not what will I have. It's not even what will my children or grandchildren have. It is what will the seventh generation from me have. That's roughly 150 years from now. It's not just sentimentality. It is spiritual technology for living unselfishly. It is what every great master, every great teacher has taught. It has been built into our bones long before the word sustainability ever existed. Black Elk, the Oglala Lakota holy man, put it even more simply than that. He said, all things are our relatives. What we do to everything, we do to ourselves, because all is really one. That's not a metaphor. That is physics, theology, and ethics, all collapsed into one single sentence. And it happens to be exactly what we mean in unity when we say there is one presence and one power. We just had a song about it. Did you hear the message of that song? Doesn't matter what you call it. It doesn't matter how you envision it. There is only one presence and one power. But we didn't invent that idea either. Charles Fillmore spent his life insisting that truth does not belong to any one religion or any denomination. It's a universal current that runs under every tradition that has ever tried to put a name on it. He wrote that the real church is not a building. It is our hearts. He wrote in his language of the day, the heart of man is its temple. So if we put Fillmore, Black Elk, Chief Lyons side by side, we're not looking at three unrelated philosophies. We're looking at three dialects of the same original instruction, spoken by people who never met, in places unknown to each other. And they translated this idea into the languages that were available to them. This is what I mean when I use the term Homo agapian. I mean a humanity that is evolving towards a consciousness of compassion, of collaboration, of care, that reaches beyond ourselves, even to the seventh generation. This is not a new idea, though. It's not something we're inventing for the 21st century. It's an old instruction that we are finally coming into remembrance of together as a species. And it's exactly the ground, by the way, that Glenn Perry will be standing on when he joins us next week and shares original love with us. So hold on to that and put it on your calendar to be here. The original instruction is still spoken today. It has been spoken down through the eons. It's not ancient history preserved in a museum or under glass. It's an instruction that's still spoken out loud every day by people who have never stopped. I have to look up the correct pronunciation of this. Among the Haudenosaunee, which is the six tribe confederacy, the Six Nations, that includes Chief Lyons, Onondaga people, there's a tradition that's called the Thanksgiving Address. It's sometimes translated as the words that come before all else. When they gather together, before any council meeting, before any ceremony, before any important gathering begins, this is recited. Someone speaks it. And it's a long, unhurried greeting. And thanks to all of the people gathered, to the Mother Earth, to the waters, to the plants, to the animals, to the wind, to the sun, to the moon, the stars, and the ancestors. One by one they go through, naming what sustains life and giving thanks for it, so that everybody's mind, everybody that's gathered there is of one mind before any real work begins. It is not recited once and forgotten. It's spoken every single time. Because gratitude in that tradition is not a feeling you have, it's a practice you do, out loud in community before anything else can happen. Think about what that means. They don't open with an agenda. They open by remembering who they are related to. And that who extends to animals, to fish, to birds, to trees, to mountains, and to each other, to the ancestors, and to the generations yet unborn. Only then do they get to work. What would change if we really had that consciousness? How would we treat the earth and the beings that live upon it if we had that consciousness of oneness? That's the original instruction. What would change in our own lives, in our meetings, our mornings, even in our arguments with people we love, if we insisted on that order? Gratitude and kinship first, agenda second. What would change? As I was writing this, I realized something, that maybe we should do the Thanksgiving address, it's called, as a meditation, so that you can feel what it really means and how powerful it really is to remember this, to go back to the original instruction and come into oneness. So I invite you to get comfortable. It's a little long. It's not terribly long. It's a little long. And I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that. If not, just lower your gaze. And be aware of your breath. And as you come into that awareness of breath, realize that you are breathing the same air as the trees, the birds, the animals. That you are standing on the same earth that the great mountains are on, the canyons and the oceans. Breathe. Breathe in that awareness. Today, we have gathered, and we see that the circles of life continue. We have been given the duty to live in balance and harmony with one another and with all living things. So now we bring our minds together as one, as we give greetings and thanks to each other as people. Now our minds are one. We give thanks to our Mother, the Earth, for she gives us all that we need for life. She supports our feet as we walk upon her. It gives us joy that she continues to care for us, as she has from the beginning of time. To our Mother, we send greetings and thanks. Now our minds are one. We give thanks to all the waters of the world for quenching our thirst and providing us with strength. Water is life. We know its power in many forms, in waterfalls and rain, mists and streams, rivers and oceans. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to the Spirit of water. Now our minds are one. We turn our minds to all the fish life in the water. They were instructed to cleanse and purify the water. They also give themselves to us as food. We are grateful that we can still find pure water. We turn now to the fish and those that live under the water. We send our greetings and our thanks. Now our minds are one. Now we turn toward the vast fields of plant life. As far as the eye can see, the plants grow, working many wonders. The plants grow, they sustain many life forms. They feed us. They provide air and shade and beauty. We give thanks, and we look forward to seeing plant life for many generations to come. Now, our minds are one. With one mind, we turn to honor and thank all of the food plants we harvest from the garden. Since the beginning of time, the grains, the vegetables, the beans, the berries have helped us survive. Many other living things draw strength from them too. We gather all the plant foods together as one and send them greetings of thanks. Now, our minds are one. Now we turn to the medicine herbs of the world. From the beginning, they were instructed to take away sickness. They are always waiting and ready to heal us. And we are happy there are still among us those special few who remember how to use these plants for healing. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to the medicines and the keepers of medicines. Now, our minds are one. We gather our minds together to send greetings and thanks to all the animal life of the world. They have many things to teach us as people. We are honored by them when they give up their lives so that we may use their bodies as food for our people. We see them near our homes and in the deep forests. We are glad they are still here, and we hope that it will always be so. Now, our minds are one. And now we turn our thoughts to the trees. The earth has many families of trees who have their own instructions and uses. Some provide us shelter and shade. Others, fruit, beauty, and other useful things. Many of the people of the world use a tree as a symbol of peace and strength. With one mind, we greet and we thank the trees. Now, we are one mind. We put our minds together as one and thank all the birds who move and fly about above our heads. The Creator gave them beautiful songs. Each day they remind us to enjoy and appreciate life. The eagle was chosen to be their leader. To all the birds, from the smallest to the largest, we send our joyful greetings and thanks. Now, our minds are one. We are thankful to the powers we know as the four winds. We hear their voices in the moving air as they refresh us and purify the air we breathe. They help to bring us the change of seasons. From the four directions they come, bringing us messages and giving us strength. With one mind, we send our greetings and thanks to the four winds. Now, our minds are one. Now we turn to the west, where our grandfathers, the thunder beings, live. With lightning and thundering voices, they bring with them the water that renews life. We are thankful that they keep those evil things made by Osiris underground. We bring our minds together as one to send greetings and thanks to our grandfathers, the Thunderers. Now our minds are one. And now we send greetings and thanks to our eldest brother, the sun. Each day, without fail, he travels the sky from east to west, bringing the light of a new day. He is the source of all fires of life. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to our brother, the sun. Now, our minds are one. We put our minds together to give thanks to our oldest grandmother, the moon, who lights the nighttime sky. She is the leader of women all over the world, and she governs the movement of the ocean tides. By her changing face, we measure time. And it is she who watches over the arrival of children here on earth. With one mind, we send our greetings and thanks to our grandmother, the moon. Now, our minds are one. We give thanks to the stars who are spread across the sky like jewelry. We see them in the night, helping the moon to light the darkness and bringing dew to the gardens and growing things. When we travel at night, they guide us home. With our minds gathered together as one, we send greetings and thanks to the stars. Now, our minds are one. We gather our minds to greet and thank the enlightened teachers who have come to help throughout the ages when we forget how to live in harmony. When we forget, they remind us of the way we were instructed to live as people. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to these caring teachers. Now, our minds are one. And now we turn our thoughts to the Creator or Great Spirit and send greetings and thanks for all the gifts of creation. Everything we need to live a good life is right here on this Mother Earth. For all the love that is still around us, we gather our minds together as one and send our choicest words of greetings and thanks to our Creator. Now we are one. And now we have arrived at the place where we end our words. Of all the things we have named, it was not our intention to leave anything out. If something was forgotten, we leave it to each individual to send such greetings and thanks in their own way. Now our minds are one. And in this oneness, we send our thanks and our greetings to each other, to our ancestors, and to the 7 generations yet to come. In one mind, We breathe. We become aware of our place in this moment as we gently open our eyes and return. Science, in its own way, has been rediscovering its version of this same instruction. You heard Mindy and Michael both talk about how trees send messages to one another. Forest ecologists have spent the last few decades mapping something that was once dismissed as folklore, that trees in a forest are connected underground through their roots and through vast fungal networks, mycorrhizal webs they call it, through which they share water and nutrients and even warning signals about disease and drought. We now know that a mother tree can recognize her own seedlings and send them extra carbon when needed. Biologists call that the wood wide web. And it's what indigenous peoples have been telling us in ceremony for thousands upon thousands of years, that all things are our relatives. And that is exactly what root systems are doing in the dark, all around us right now, without ever having read a unity lesson or a peer-reviewed journal. The instructions were never lost. They had just gone underground, literally and figuratively. They were waiting for our instruments to catch up to what the fire circle people already knew. The instruction was never lost. It was buried under the noise, under the hurry, under the very civilizations that grew up after it was already written within us. It is what Jesus spoke of. It is what Buddha spoke of. It is what Muhammad and Black Elk and Chief Lions and every teacher has spoken of. We're not learning something new this morning. We're brushing the dirt off of something that's been here the whole time. So here's the practical question for the week ahead. Here's how we put it into practice. What is one decision you could make this week as if the seventh generation was watching? What is one decision you could make this week as if the seventh generation is watching? Not what's convenient for me today, but what does love, stretched out across time, ask of me right now? I invite you to do that this week. And now let's close with an affirmation. I'll say it once, and you can say it together. I remember the instructions written into me before I had words. I remember the instructions written into me before I had words. I am kin to all things. And all things are kin to me. I live today for the seventh generation. And so it is. We truly come from one fire, as the song said. And now it's time to turn back to the fire, to the water, to the mountain, and to the Spirit. For we truly are of one Spirit, with each other, with all creation, with the ancestors, and with the seven generations. As Harry Belafonte wrote, only can the Spirit turn the world around. We are kept by the same instructions. We are walking together toward that seventh generation. So go in peace. And next Sunday, come back, because we're only getting started. Glenn Perry will lead us even deeper into this original love that's been waiting underneath all this time. Enjoy the journey.